Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for watching. In this video, I will be showing you guys how I made a Grinch themed birthday cake. So let's get started. Here I am icing the cake board. That way my cake will stick well to the board. I make those lines on the bottom of the board because I always face my cakes downward. That way all the oxygen is coming out through the bottom and going the same direction. This cake was made of 4 layers of chocolate cake with Nutella buttercream. And as some of you might see in the background, I was watching Grey's Anatomy. So I do have a few little pauses throughout this video because I was so in tune to this episode. Here I am doing the first crumb coat layer. I ice my cakes about 2 to 3 times before I give it the final coat. I feel like that always works out best for me. Now I am giving the cake a second layer of the Nutella buttercream. Then I will start with the final coat, which you guys will see in the next step. I also forgot to mention that I always leave my cakes in the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes before I apply the next layer of buttercream. So now I'm applying the final layer of buttercream. This one will be a little different than how I typically ice my cakes, being as though this cake will be a striped cake. So for this step, it is very important to make sure that each of your stripes are evenly coated. That way, when you apply the colors in the center in between the lines, you don't have the colors seeping into each other, which, I mean, it still happens, but to give it more of a neater look, try to make sure that every single stripe is coated evenly. So for striped buttercream cakes like this, for this step, I always put them in the freezer for about 5 to 8 minutes to let the buttercream firm up. So for striped buttercream cakes, I always make sure that my bench scraper is either warm or hot. You can either torch it or run it under hot water. I prefer running it under hot water. It's just quicker and easier. And I feel like this helps with the stripes. After scraping the cake a few times, I'll also go back and fill in any empty spaces. So as you can see, I'm just gonna keep scraping away until I'm satisfied with the way that the stripes are coming out. So as you can see, the colors still seep into each other, which is okay. I wasn't too worried about it with this cake because I'll be adding some sprinkles on the bottom of the cake, and then I'll also be dripping down some royal icing on the top. So now I will start working on the drip part of the cake. I always start off by adding a lot of the royal icing on top, and then I'll grab a spatula and just smooth it out evenly throughout the top. And then after I've done that, then I'll start doing the drips along the sides. So with drip cakes, I always like to make some super long and some short, and whatever. You can do this part to your preference. I just love the way it looks when they're like a bunch of different sizes. It just looks so pretty. Also, try not to go overboard when doing drip cakes because it can overflow and maybe go down all the way to the bottom of the board. I don't like the way that looks, so just a little bit of royal icing goes a long way when you're doing a drip cake. Now I'm adding the sprinkles to the bottom of the cake. Now I usually put some type of cake pan underneath, but I don't know why, but this time I was not thinking and made such a mess doing it this way, but it still worked out. So now I'm just gonna alternate colors and pipe some little swirls on top of the cake. Now for my favorite part of making cakes is the fondant and sculpting. So here I'm going to start off by making a little gift box. So now I'm going to start making the ribbon for the gift box, and in this part you will see me stopping, and it's because I'm watching Grey's Anatomy. And this was the episode where Meredith is helping John Doe, and I'm just starting to realize that John Doe is actually O'Malley, and I was just so in shock. Now it's time to make a Christmas tree. Now I am going to start assembling all of the details on the cake. Now to finish off this cake, I'm just adding in some candy canes to tie it all together. I'm so happy with the way this cake came out. It turned out to be one of my favorite cakes. And there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys will come back for more. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.